Good evening then. Welcome back to a very sunny East Midlands Airport. It's very sunny for a Tuesday evening. Anyway, better into what it was last week. But thank you very much for joining us on our first stream of the week from East Midlands Airport, from our usual spot within the grounds of the Aeropark. Cessna 152 looks like just landing in from the flying club there. So if we just have a quick pan around in that direction this evening, see the sun very much with us again, hopefully for a duration of the stream this evening. Doesn't look like the forecast is looking too harsh. Just a little bit of a wind, but taking the edge of that heat off ever so slightly. So thank you very much for being with us again this evening. We'll have a look in a short while of the at the traffic approaching us. Looks like the Jet 2 is just pushing in the distance, that one off to Palma this evening. Let's see if we can make that one out. Quick pan around. We'll try and catch the 152 as it makes its way out as well this evening. That one just coming off the runway there. Let's try and get that one in focus for you. There we go. Just doing a few circuits this evening. It goes into the sun. So look in the distance then at that Jet 2. That one should have just pushed off stand. Get a tripod set up. There you go, we'll try and get a bit of focus back on that as well. It's extremely bright in the distance this evening, so maybe a little bit difficult. See all the heat haze is back with us again. The Jet 2 making its way out to the taxiway now. We are on 27 ups again this evening. Hopefully, as we move into tomorrow and for Thursday's stream, the direction of that wind will have shifted back into the direction of 09. See if you can take a bit more of that edge off. There we go, hopefully that's a little bit better. There we go, that one making its way out on the taxiway now, down to the start of 27. Fire unit just in the distance there. That one just going to disappear out of sight as it makes its way down to the start of the runway there. Pick back up with that one as it makes its way towards us in just a few minutes' time. But for the time being, we will have a look at the 777 right in front of us this evening. That one in the process of being worked on now. Just some detail on the Jet 2 making its way down then. That one, as we said, off to Palma this evening. 737-800. Registration on that one, Golf Delta Romeo Tango Bravo. Let's get a few more of those filters working for us. Right, I'll try and work that one out in a minute. But the Jet 2 just at the start of 27 now. And good evening to everybody in the chat as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Hazel, Sam and Noah and Oz73. Good to have you with us. Aaron as well. Katie, good to see you as well this evening. Thank you all for joining us. It looks like the Jet 2 is on the runway now. And we'll just call in air traffic for clearance to land back in. And we'll get back in the direction of 27 then. Let's wait for that Jet 2 to make its way down towards us. Way out of East Midlands this evening. So that sky in front of us is extremely bright this evening. The sun right above us at the minute. Hopefully as that starts to set just a little while, it make things a little bit easier. So you can get a close up of that Jet 2 then as it turns left, making its way down south now. This one will just about be passing through 2,500 feet. And passing off to London Control. There you go, that one at 2,700 feet now. There you go, that one away out of East Midlands in this evening. So look back over on the apron then. All the aircraft currently on the stand this evening. A couple of Ryanairs just on the back. The breeze picking up ever so slightly. Right, let's make those final adjustments then. So the 152 is our touch and go this evening. That one just over Kegworth at the minute. Right, let's try and get these this data set working properly. So looking at those first arrivals then of this evening stream, the DHL 767 in from Kennedy. That one is slightly delayed. Should be with us at about 6:05 this evening, and that service in from Cincinnati, operated by the 777. That one is due into us about 20 minutes behind schedule, due in just before 7:50 this evening. The RVL in from the Isle of Man at 7, and the Ryanair service in from Dublin at 7:05 this evening. That one should just be beaten by the Ryanair service in from Wrocław. It's like both of those aircraft are on their way in. A little early for the Dublin service, but the service in from Wrocław is definitely on its way this evening. Hawker Beechcraft in from Jersey, that one with a scheduled arrival time of about 7:20. and the Chewy service in from Palma at 7:45 this evening. The 777 in from Leipzig, that one with a scheduled arrival time of just before 10:08, and the UPS service in from Philadelphia, that one currently on schedule, arriving with us this evening at about 8:05. The Malta Air service in from Faro, that one should be with us at about 10:08, and then the DHL 757 in from Reykjavik just before 8:20 this evening. Hopefully finishing with either the service in from Belfast, that is the Maersk service from Belfast, or the Ryanair service in from Krakow this evening. That Krakow service is scheduled to arrive just before 9 p.m. Let's see if we can catch the 152 making a bit of a pass above us this evening. Practicing a few touch and goes this evening. So I'll look back over on the apron and say the light is a bit of an issue for the time being. It's going to look very bright in the distance. Try and get around that if we can. Turn that up down just a little bit. Looks like when the Ryanair is ready to start and push back now then. So let's look at those departures, and the Ryanair service off to Malaga this evening at 5:06. That is likely the service just about to push back and start. And then shortly after that, about 10 minutes after that, the Ryanair service off to Palma. 777 after Leipzig, that is scheduled to depart at about 5:07 this evening, and then the Ryanair service to Valencia at 7:30, followed by the service to Vraslav, that's a return service to Vraslav, at about 8:25 this evening. The Malta Air in from Faro with an estimated departure time of 10:09 this evening, that one running about 15 minutes behind schedule. And then of course the DHL service to Cincinnati, that one is also due out at about 10:09 this evening. So I'll keep an eye on those departures towards the end of the stream. The DHL services do tend to be a little delayed, but we will try our best to catch them if we can. We've not seen any of those later departures for quite some time. They've been delayed by a good 30 to 60 minutes on some occasions. Right, let's try and get this data set working then. No, not having it for some reason. Pat, good evening to you, and Amrisa as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Sam, the DHL departing at 5:07 this evening. Show the 777 off to Leipzig. So there's just a couple of 777s on stand at the minute. Let's have a look in the direction of that apron. See if we can see the one making its way out a little later on. There you go, get a bit of brightness back. It should be that airframe making its way out a little later. Delta Alpha Alpha Lima Lima. So the cargo making its way off that one at the minute. That one in from Delhi this afternoon, landing just before 5 p.m. About 50 minutes ago or so, that one landed in. And then the 777 we were just looking at the opposite end of the apron. That one in from Dubai, landing about 20 past 4. It's definitely going to be a little tricky tonight with the light, but we'll persevere and make the best of it. So not been that fortunate over the past week or so with the weather from East Midlands. Been very dull and grey indeed, and very wet as well. I turned last Thursday's stream a little earlier than we'd like. But back out again this evening in much better conditions. It's almost cloudless above us at the minute. Just a few dots around, but very much blue skies and a very light wind as well. So no movement on the apron just yet. Let's bring those Ryanairs on the apron camera there if we can. Just keep an eye on them. And we'll try and get a few other bits to work this evening. Seem to be wanting to play ball. Let's have a look. That's a little better. There we go, solved. So that service in from Kennedy then, about 20 minutes away from us now, 152, just to the left of us, making that touch and go again. But that service in from Cincinnati, just passing overhead Ellesmere Port now. That one at 18,000, passing down through 18,600 feet. Registration on the inbound this evening then, Golf Delta Hotel Lima Echo, 767300. That one is 15 years of age, first entering into service in July 2009, so very quickly coming to 16 years of age. That one not too far out at all. As I look a little further east, south and west then. Looking over to the west first, that service in from Cincinnati at 35,000 feet, making its way towards the coast of Ireland. So that one is going to pass north of Shannon, making its way up towards Dublin, over the north of Anglesey and North Wales, and then down in towards East Midlands. Let's have a look over Europe. The Ryanair service in from Wrocław, that one is at 38,000 feet at the minute. 375 knots on that one. Registration at Sierra Papa Romeo Kilo Papa. That one is 737-800 with about an hour and 10 minutes endurance on that one. About an hour and 10 minutes still left to run this evening. Nothing picking up on those Ryanairs just yet. Nothing over the radio here that we're tuned into. But it should be the services just at the bottom left of the screen there, off out to Malaga and Palma this evening. So thank you very much for being with us. First stream of the week, hopefully a little longer than it was last Tuesday and Thursday, so unfortunately I'm going to cut those short a little bit due to the weather conditions, but very much favourable this evening. So the heat haze is now back with us. And then hopefully Thursday evening stream with the Download Festival on just over the way at Donington Park this weekend. Oh, sorry, this weekend, finishing this weekend. A lot of the local roads will be heavily congested as we get a little further into the week. The first arrivals due in tomorrow evening into Thursday, so we'll keep an eye on the local traffic as well. Schedule the stream accordingly, so we should be able to maintain the regular time slot, but we'll keep an eye on that. Whether we've got to start a little earlier or start a little later is yet to be seen, but hopefully the wind should start shifting on into tomorrow and Thursday, so fingers crossed we'll be on 09 operations, so able to watch a lot of those aircraft making their way in from the south, and just to the north of us onto the approach 409, making their way over Donington Park and the festival itself, and then landing in right in front of us. That's hopefully the plan anyway, if the weather stays forecasted to be how it is forecasted. We're good to have you with us again this evening. So if you're in and around the area over the next few days, definitely be aware of all the restrictions around all the way through Castle Donington itself in terms of parking, and some of the bus stops as well. The Aeropark is open this Thursday to the public as part of their summer schedule, and on Saturday and Sunday as well. If you want to come down and see any of their aircraft up close and in person, definitely have a look at the Aeropark. Link to their website is in the stream description below. I'll give you an idea of all their aircraft on static display, admission times and prices as well. But thank you to the volunteers and for Stuart for giving up his time this evening. Let us conduct a stream from the Aeropark. So let's have a look at that arrival then, making its way towards us now. So that 152 is in and around the airfield this evening. It's currently making its way down towards the south, just about to turn onto base leg, making its way back down to start off 27 by that first Ryanair service, 737 MAX, registration Echo India Golf Zulu. That one is off to Malaga this evening. Looks like both of those aircraft have had their rear stair moved away from the aircraft now, so both should be ready to start or push back and start in just a few minutes time. So we keep them in the bottom left of the screen there. Stick with the 777 for the time being as 767 makes its way towards us. Service in from Kennedy, passing through 10,500 feet now, then making its way just south of Ashbourne, making its way north of Derby. That one will pass right between Nottingham and Derby over the M1, and then back down towards East Midlands, making that right hand turn just south of Nottingham onto the final approach for runway 27 this evening. Finis and the Groovy Gang, thank you very much for joining us. So one of the Ryanairs is just about to push back. Let's have a look which one it is. That 152 making its way back in this afternoon. Should be making its way out anytime soon anyway. Just about to see the anti-collision beacon light pinging away underneath the rightmost aircraft there. So the one closest to us this evening. Just making out the beacon pinging away underneath it there. Just trying to bring either one a little bit closer if we can. There we go. So that service off to Malaga this evening, and the adjacent 737. That one will be making its way out to Palma this evening. Registration on that one: Echo India Echo Foxtrot X-ray. That one with an estimated departure time about 6:05 this evening. So that Palma service just requesting to push back and start. They're going to hold there for just a short while. Nowhere for them to push back and start just yet. So the Malaga service will make its way out first, and then that Palma service will follow shortly after. So that Malaga service just in the process of starting up now. Switch back to that main camera. very bright in the distance this evening. The sunlight reflecting, sorry, words out off the skin of the aircraft this evening. A service in from Kennedy, just turning over the south of Nottingham now then. That one passing through 4,100 feet. Currently at 198 knots. That one should be with us in about 3 to 4 minutes time. Just a little way off making that final turn onto the approach 427 this evening. Engines on that one, just starting up now. So we may well see that 767 in first. Hopefully they vacate a little further up this evening. Find out in just a few minutes time. That one currently passing through 2,900 feet now. That service starting up in Dublin. Looks looking like it's just pushed off stand, so probably a good 50 minutes or so before that one arrives in with us. The 777 in from Cincinnati is about 40 minutes away from us now. That one heading straight for Dublin at the minute, and looks like that one is indeed going to route towards North Wales. Probably just skirts in the north of Anglesey there and then making its way across. That's 767 just over East Leek at the minute. Ryanair still very much on stand, waiting to begin its taxi out to the start of 27 this evening. Mark, good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you're well. And to Rob as well. Good to have you both with us. Seven 767 not too far away from us now then, just over Kegworth at the minute, and I'm passing through 1,000 feet now. And there we go, that one just passing over the M1, just a minute or so before that one is with us this evening. We'll watch that one onto stand, whilst the Ryanair makes its way down to the start of the runway this evening. that service in from Bratislava. About 55 minutes away from us now. The 777 starting in Leipzig as well. That one has just departed Leipzig, passing through 6,700 feet now. Registration on that one, Delta Alpha Alpha Lima Papa. That one with still about an hour and 25 minutes to run this evening. Oops, if we pan around, catch that 767 then. They were now just about to start its taxi off the Apron. That second service just been approved to push back and start as well. Malaga service just moving out of the way. And now that aircraft to push back there. With her on it in just a minute. Watch the 767 make its way for taxiway first. Couple of the Swift aircraft in the background there as well with us this evening. It's like the ATR and the 737 on the remote stands. We just quickly catch that Ryanair making its way down on the taxiway to the start of 27 in the bottom left hand screen there. Watch the 767 as it makes its way onto stand then this evening. Using the most forward stand over there this evening, setting itself right on the end. It's a very soft start this evening. So look at the Ryanair then. That second service is just pushing back now. I'll bring you down at the bottom of the screen. But that service out to Malaga then, just about to make its way to the start of 27. Looks like that one is going to intercept a little early. But nothing in the vicinity, so that one should be pretty much straight out this evening. Palma service just pushing back a little further. rear of the Apron there then this evening. Right now on 27 now then. Let's lose that Palma service just for the time being. Pan around in this direction. Watch that one as it makes its way out of East Midlands this evening. Soaring right away, right into the sunlight there. Very difficult to see indeed. Try and catch up with that one as it makes its turn towards the south. So look at the 767 in the distance then. Ground crew just making preparations to... so they've already started actually. The upper cargo door just overhead of the aircraft there. That Palma service just pushing back into place and starting up. Let's see if we can catch that Ryanair as it makes its way out of East Midlands. Passing down towards the south now. That one just turning off to London control. That one at about 2,700 feet now, making its way towards 3,000. Making its way out of East Midlands airspace then. So look at that 767 as we wait for that next Ryanair service to make its way out. Bit of black smoke there making its way out the side of the aircraft. So that ground power unit just started up. Hopefully the clarity is coming over well this evening, so with the sun being directly at us is a little bit challenging. I'm trying to take as much of that glare off of the aircraft as we can. Just softening the lights ever so slightly, so hopefully still a pretty good image. Looks it from our side anyway this evening, so hopefully that's still coming across quite well. Bring that second Ryanair service back on the screen for the time being then. Collision lights just pinging away on that one. Nothing starting on that one just yet. Doesn't it look or hear like it started anyway. So the next departure out of East Midlands on this evening will be the 777 on the very end of the stand, DHL stand. That one back off to Leipzig in about 40 minutes time. We'll take a close look at that one as soon as that Ryanair starts moving away. For now we'll stick with the 767 in front of us. Let's take a closer look a bit further down that aircraft then if we can. The fueling truck is just underneath the wing this evening. There we go. That's extremely hot once the wind dies down. This aircraft back off out to Cincinnati then this evening. Registration, as you can see on that one, Golf Delta Hotel Lima Echo. This one with an estimated departure time of 10 to 9 this evening. So all being well, if this one does stay on track, we may well see that one depart back out of East Midlands. We haven't been that fortunate over the past few weeks though, so the services back out to the US delayed somewhat by a good 30 minutes to a little over an hour in some cases. But we'll keep an eye on the scheduled departure time for that one. And if we can manage to see that one depart out this evening, definitely try and stick around and catch it for you. So look at the opposite end of the stand this evening then, where that 777 is. There we go, look at the progress of that one. This one is back off to Leipzig this evening. Should be departing just before 7 p.m. 7 p.m. The Vulcan making its way out now. That one just starting up on its stand. Should be making its way out in just a couple of minutes. Gets back up with a 777 as it progresses a little bit further, hopefully making that slot this evening. We'll see the second 777 on stand, the one being worked on since it arrived in from Dubai, I believe, this afternoon. The Vulcan just making its way out in the distance then. Yeah, just about see it there. We'll lose a Ryanair for the time being, as this one will pass directly by it. I expect this one will depart quite rapidly this evening. We'll try our best to catch it if we can, and we go passing by the Ryanair off to Palma this evening. With no other traffic in the area at the minute, sounds like that one has already been given takeoff clearance. Yeah, looks like that one is rapidly making its way onto the runway there. Down towards it in any case. Yeah, just intercepting a little bit earlier. One will be taking off imminently then, so let's try if we can prepare for the departure of that one. Registration on this one this evening then, Golf Papa Oscar Lima Zulu. So Vulcan Victor, belonging to the National Police Air Service. That one rapidly making its way out of East Midlands and this evening off out on operational duty. Disappearing into the sun. We'll try and track this one if we can, just for a little longer. making its way down towards the south now. There you go. Just about out of my line of sight there. So look in the distance and out the Ryanair as it prepares to make its way down to the start of 27. Looking at just passing out of the I've just been handed off there from air traffic, but the Ryanair still on stand, no movement on that one, no sound from that one either. That one did have an estimated departure time this evening, about 6:05, so running a little late behind schedule. So look at those next arrivals and while we're waiting for that one to finally start up. 777 in from Cincinnati is about 20 minutes away from us now. That one just passing over Rhyl in North Wales, making its way down through 25,000 feet now. And that service in from Dublin, the Ryanair 737-800. That one at 19,500 feet now. Registration on the inbound from Dublin, Echo India, Echo November Foxtrot. And the 777 in from Cincinnati, registration on that one, Golf Delta Hotel Mike Delta. Looking towards the east end, the Ryanair service in from Vraslav, that one at 38,000 feet, leaving the coast of the Netherlands there. That one should be with us in about 40 minutes time. And the 777 in from Leipzig, registration Delta Alpha Alpha Lima Papa at 40,000 feet. That one with still about an hour and 10 minutes to run this evening. So look a little further south, the Chewy in from Palma, that one arriving in about an hour and 20 minutes. So you can hear traffic above us this evening. The sun is directly above us, so very much being blinded. But that Chewy service with about an hour and 20 minutes left to run then this evening.
Hi Tom, Stuart, when you've got a second off mic.
There you go, thank you very much. Right, the departure of that Ryanair then. So nothing over the radio at the minute, but that one's very much staying firmly positioned for the time being. Let's have a look at the 767 then as it continues to be unloaded this evening. Those lower cargo doors are now open. Let's have a quick look at that one. Go a little bit of a sneak peek inside of that one. Just have a look to the rear as well. Where that bit of apparatus is making its way towards this evening. Very methodically but condensedly packed to make the most of all the available space inside those aircraft. And we shall bring you the Ryanair just in the bottom of the screen now. There we go, just in case that one does indeed move. I'm sure everyone is pretty eager to get going on that one. Imagine it's a little bit warm on board this evening. The next arrival in from Cincinnati then, passing through 19,000 feet now, making its way down towards East Midlands. And thank you again to everybody joining us this evening from East Midlands Airport. First stream of the week. We should be back out again a little later this week on Thursday. So the weather's looking favourable, and hopefully the wind will have changed direction by that point as well. And we'll schedule that stream as soon as we can. And thank you to everybody who's joined us over the past couple of weeks, as well, sticking with us. That little patch of bad weather last week. Thursday was very much a washout. Did turn out a little different than we had expected. So didn't do too bad to the start of the stream, but on the last departure of that 777, very much a washout. So everything chucked away and off as quickly as we could into the dry. But we will keep posted on Thursday's stream, subject to all the local roads being in good order in terms of traffic for the Download Festival over the next few days into the weekend. We should be streaming at our normal time, so there are a lot of parking restrictions in the vicinity over the next few days. So do be mindful if you're making your way down to the airport. So Deesworth Road is currently littered with cones. Just be mindful that not to get caught out. So still no movement on the Ryanair then, and nothing not the radio either. I was waiting for a new slot. So look at the estimated departure time for that one, see if that one has indeed changed. No, nothing as of yet. That one running about 20 minutes behind schedule now. So it looks like we may well see that next arrival in first. 777 making its way towards the south of Ashbourne now then. So just a slight breeze with us this evening, nothing as extensive as it was last Tuesday or Thursday, so the wind was quite ferocious here. And of course being on 27, as those aircraft turn off the runway onset taxiway there, being blasted by those engines as well, definitely didn't help. But very much favourable conditions this evening for streaming in. So that sun starts to set in a little while. Should alleviate some of the issues with the lights as those aircraft depart off into the distance. Making a steady job of getting the first of the cargo of the 767 this evening done. So that aircraft is due to go back out to Cincinnati a little later on. Just a couple more hours on the ground for this one. See the fueling truck just behind it there. Already making preparations to get this one back off the ground as soon as it possibly can. Andy, good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Triple 7 making its way towards the north of Derby now then. I think it's going to be a little while before that Ryanair starts to make a move. Stick with the 767 in front of us for the time being then. There's the ground crew there. Continue offloading that aircraft this evening. So the 777 in the distance is being loaded at the minute. That one back off to Leipzig just a short while. That one did have an estimated departure time of 5 to 7 this evening. So about 20 minutes time. There's still lots of cargo around the perimeter of the aircraft. We'll stay hopeful that that one does indeed stick to its schedule this evening, but we will keep an eye on that one in the distance. The services off to Valencia and Wrocław this evening then. Those should be departing within the hour. The Valencia at 7:30 and the Wrocław at 7:35. And indeed, that 777, the crew already on board that one, talking to control at the minute, requesting a slot to push back and stop. So hopefully that one should stay on schedule this evening if they're already requesting to make preparations to push back. Triple 7 making its way towards Nottingham now, passing down through 7,000 feet. That one currently at 280 knots. Flight time on that one this evening will be about 6 hours and 42 minutes by the time it arrives into East Midlands. And the Ryanair service in from Dublin, just a short while behind the 777. That one about 20 minutes away from us now, passing currently at 18,800 feet. Looks like that one is indeed passing down towards 18,500 feet now, already starting its descent in towards East Midlands. That one departing about 20 minutes ago and already making its descent in towards us. So just a short hop across from Dublin for that one this evening. Flight time of about 40 to 41 minutes on that one by the time it arrives with us. Registration on that inbound then, Echo India, Echo November Foxtrot, and just a little behind the service from Dublin, the RVL in from the Isle of Man, operated by the Cessna Caravan. Registration on that one, Golf Romeo Victor Lima Yankee, that one holding at 9,100 feet, currently at about 250 knots on that one. 777 over the centre of Nottingham now. They're just about to make that right hand turn as it makes its way towards East Midlands this evening. See if we can catch the 777 in the distance then. If we pan away from the 76 for the time being, there's the final bits of cargo make its way on board that one this evening. Just a short hop back over to Leipzig in relative terms of the 777 anyway. About an hour and a half back over to Leipzig this evening. Its counterpart is already making its way over to us, just about to pass into the Netherlands there. It's like that one is going to make its way just overhead Rotterdam. About 55 minutes still left on that one this evening. That's the DHL 777 in from Leipzig. That one departing about 30 minutes ago. Palma service very much stuck in that position for the time being. It's not moved since pushing back. Nothing on the radio either from that one. So a bit in the dark as to what's going on with that one at the minute. Definitely missed its earlier slot though. Get a bit more of that in frame there. So hopefully within the next short while and that upper cargo door will start to close and those forward stairs move out of place. It looks like maybe just a little more work to go on that one this evening. Still a fair bit of cargo around it. So maybe it hastes the making preparations to push back just yet. But the 777 making that turn onto the final approach for runway 27 this evening then. Flight time on that one just over 6 hours and 40 minutes, probably about 6 hours and 44 minutes by the time it touches down. But passing through 3,000 feet now at 181 knots, making its way towards East Leek. That service in from Dublin, just passing by a leak a little further north than Stoke-on-Trent. That one should be with us in about 13 minutes time. That 777 will be the next aircraft to land into East Midlands. Hopefully passing by us just as the 767 did. 777 being given clearance to land into East Midlands this evening then. On at 2,000 feet now. 160 knots. Keeping the direction of this 777 for the time being. Still nothing at all on the right now though. Waiting on the back of the apron. So it doesn't look like the look or sound like either of those engines are started up. Presumably the APU is started there, but no noise from the from that direction this evening just yet. Just a couple of minutes then, and we will see the next arrival making its way in and hopefully making its way all the way down past us this evening. So thank you very much for joining us this evening, sticking with us. 767 back into view just for a little while. Yeah, very strange about the Ryanair. Nothing at all from that one. There you go, the 777 in towards us now. DHL 777 in from Cincinnati this evening then. Stick with this one just for the time being as it makes its way off the runway up to the taxiway to find its stand for the evening. We'll likely see that next service in from Dublin before the Palma service makes its way out. Service in from Dublin, passing through 6,800 feet now then, and one should be with us in about 5 or 6 minutes time. Let's have a bit of a close-up of the 777 as it makes its way on to the DHL apron this evening. Flight time on the inbound then, 6 hours and 47 minutes. One coming to a stop on one of the very end stands of the apron then this evening. Wind picking up ever so slightly. The majority of it being generated by those engines as it made its way, as the aircraft made its way off of the runway this evening. Still nothing at all on Palma service, so looking like the next inbound will be the Ryanair in from Dublin this evening, and that one passing through 5,000 feet now, 250 knots on that one. Flight time will be about 36 minutes by the time it arrives in with us. Casey and Mark, thank you very much for joining us in the chat this evening. Good to have you both with us. And John as well, good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. A little bit better weather this week. John, thank you very much for renewing that membership as well. 3 months now. It has gone by extremely quickly. Thank you very much for your continued support of the channel. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, do look at our membership options as well for additional content from the channel. And of course, if you're new to us, don't forget to subscribe as well. I think just over 70% of our viewers are not subscribed to the channel. Very much casual viewers, but it all helps the channel to grow. So if you can, do consider subscribing. So we're well on our way to 3,000 subscribers at the minute. I really do appreciate the support of everybody who helps to grow the channel as well. So thank you very much to everybody who helps us continue to do that. So it finally looks like the Ryanair is going to start moving. Bring that one just up on screen there. The collision lights just starting pinging away. Might not be able to see them from that angle, but definitely are pinging away down there. So we will likely see that service in from Dublin into us first and this evening. That one currently at 1,600 feet, making its way down towards us now. As the ground crew start making preparations underneath that 777 there, just about see them putting those chocks in place underneath the gear there. So a quick last look at the 767 before the service in from Dublin arrives with us. All about cleared from this side on the rear of that aircraft, making their way towards the front now, retrieving that cargo off before all those new shipments start to be loaded on this evening. The Ryanair cleared to land into East Midlands this evening then, that one with a flight time a little bit longer than we said earlier, about 37 minutes flight time on that one this evening, and the RVL in from the Isle of Man not too far behind. That one is about 10 to 15 minutes away from us now, currently at 7,000 feet. By the next aircraft then to arrive with us, the Ryanair service in from Dublin. Just pan around in that direction in preparation of that one coming into view in just a couple of minutes. Hopefully catch that Ryanair service out to Palma, making its way out very soon as well. There you go, we'll lock off there for the time being. So it's like that one has just touched down. Yeah, those reverse thrusters in the distance. That service in from Dublin this evening, then making its way off runway 27. And that service out to Palma, finally making its way off the apron there onto the taxiway this evening. That one making its way down to the start of runway 27. We'll stick with the inbound from Dublin for the time being though. And I'll pick up with that service off to Palma just a couple of minutes. As the service from Dublin makes its way onto the apron, then if we pan a little further across, service out to Palma this evening, quickly making its way down to the start of 27. And the RL service here from the Isle of Man. Taking a little bit of a shortcut just around the edge of Derby there, making its way in towards East Midlands this evening. That one at 2,900 feet now. We'll see which one makes its way in first. Either the which one makes its way in or out first. Either the RVL service from the Isle of Man, or indeed that Ryanair service just about to disappear past that fence line there. So as that one makes its way off, let's have a look back over on the apron then. That service in from Dublin, just making its way onto stand. Taking the place of the early departing service to Malaga. Try and catch up with that one if we can. The 777 in the distance off to Leipzig this evening. Last bits of cargo being loaded on that one now, so that one will run behind schedule. It's estimated departure time anyway. Let's have a look just on the radar. That RVL aircraft just disappearing there, but the Ryanair making its way down, still on the taxiway. So look, while we wait for the arrival of that RVL aircraft then, the progress of that 777 off out to Leipzig. There you go, on stand next to the 757 there. Still the last few bits to make their way on. Shouldn't be too long at all before we start seeing that preparations being made for that one to push back this evening. The Ryanair service in from Wrocław will be the next to arrive into East Midlands then, after the Cessna Caravan in from the Isle of Man. Flight time on the Wrocław service about 2 hours this evening. Registration again on that one, Sierra Papa Romeo Kilo Papa. That one is 737-800. 10 years of age, that one entering in service in June 2015. And the Smartjet Hawker Beechcraft making its way in from Jersey, 15,700 feet now, making its way towards Northampton at the minute. descending towards East Midlands. That one is about 15 minutes away from us, and it looks like the Vulcan Air that we saw departing a little early on is just over Coventry at the minute. It's about 1,500 feet. 777 in from Leipzig this evening, though, about 40 minutes away from us now. That one just leaving the Netherlands there, making its way towards Southend-on-Sea at the minute. That one will route up northbound from there, up towards Luton, and then in towards East Midlands. With the weather as it is in the distance, we'll try and pick that one up. Just having a quick scan for that Vraslav service. Nothing as of yet. Right there to Palma then, just holding. Now making its way onto runway 27, the RVL in from the Isle of Man, just passing by us, sneaking off in the distance there. There you go, very empty apron over there on the remote stands this evening, a little more densely populated to the right. Empty, already making their way into place there to get that one offloaded this evening. Ryanair service to Palma then. Clear for takeoff on that one. That one with about a 50-minute delay on the outbound this evening. So I'll pan in that direction and catch that one as it makes its way out of East Midlands this evening. Vraslav service just turning on to the approach 427. See how bright it still is in the distance with us this evening. And the service from Vraslav clear to land into East Midlands now. This one passing through 2,500 feet now, being handed off to London Control. So the Ryanair just talking to the tower there. This one suspected of hitting a bird as it rotated. Crew happy to continue though. What the tower, just one in the approaching service from Vraslav. There will indeed be a bit of a bird somewhere on the runway. Helps team just requesting to go and have a look at the runway, make sure nothing is yeah, the ops team just requesting to make their way onto the runway there. So look for any debris from that departing Ryanair aircraft. We'll have a look back in a little bit, see if we managed to catch that. Not like any birds in the vicinity though, when that one was rotating. But obviously something of concern for the crew there. So not sure whereabouts that did hit the aircraft. But happy to continue. Obviously not too much of a concern to them this evening. A bit more for the approaching aircraft in case any of that debris does indeed make its way into those engines. That service just landed in and to us this evening, Ryanair service from Wrocław. Never often we get to see the Ryanair 737s vacate that far down. The ops team occupying the runway just a little further down, so they may just be making the an extended rollout there to give way to them when they go and inspect for any debris. Yeah, I think the ops team is making their way a little further down there and wait to the start of 27. Stick by the Ryanair as it makes its way onto stand this evening. There's not very much left of anything that hits one of these. From very, very many years ago, a flight trainer out of East Midlands in a inbound Chewy 737 managed to clever crow right with the end of its winglet. And the sheer size of it as we rolled past was quite something. So you don't imagine when they're that far away, anything that size could cause that much damage, but definitely have got a bit of weight to them. And the structure of the aircraft, not very thick either. It's very easy to damage with just the slightest bit of weight. The Hawker Beechcraft here from Jersey then this evening on final approach into East Midlands. That one just being given clearance to land in now. That one is just a couple of minutes away from us. So while we wait for that one to get a little bit closer, pan away from the inbound service from Wrocław for the time being. Have a look in the distance at that 777 off to Leipzig this evening. Looks like that one is all done in terms of being loaded up anyway. Ground crew just moving the ancillary equipment away from the perimeter of that aircraft now. That one about 15 minutes behind schedule currently. Scheduled to depart out at about 5 to 7 this evening. And just catching up on the chat as well. Thank you very much to everybody joining us this evening. Good to have you all with us. Beechcraft at 1,500 feet now then. Registration on that one, Sierra Papa Tango Alpha. Flight time will be about 50 minutes by the time it touches down this evening into East Midlands. Age on this one, 15 years. First flight in 2010. Looks like this one has been around Spain in the last few days. To Ibiza, making its way into Jersey a little earlier on from Malaga, and making its way back up to East Midlands this evening. That one just east of Kegworth now, 900 feet, the 777 in front of us. Should be starting to move in just a few minutes once the forward stair is moved away from that aircraft and that door closed. One last look at the 767 then, and the progress of that one this evening before we have a look at the arrival of that Beechcraft in from Jersey. They'll complete unloading the lower cargo deck of the 767 there. So a bit of heat haze in front of us this evening. Something we've not seen for a few days, but very glad to have the good weather on our side this evening. Beechcraft just passing over the runway threshold then. So look in that direction, hopefully catch that one. This one may sneak off a little early. Try very best to catch it though. Probably one of the smaller aircraft in East Midlands on this evening stream, bar the Caravan in the distance there. 777 in from Leipzig, making its way just north of London now at 26,700 feet. And there we go, quickly making his way off 27 then. Straight down onto the taxiway there towards the signature apron, just behind the hangars there. Flight time of about 50 minutes on that one this evening, and just disappearing behind the hangar there. So look in the distance, and that 777 then, progress on that one this evening. There you go, forward stair just being moved out of place now. The radar service off to Valencia, starting up in the distance. That one a little ahead of schedule this evening by about 15 minutes. So look at the next arrivals then into East Midlands. That 777 is making its way up towards us, and the Chewy in from Palma this evening, just north of Portsmouth now, making its way towards Reading at the minute. So it's just going to route towards Reading, probably pass a little east of that towards Heathrow, and then make it up towards East Midlands, past Milton Keynes and Northampton, up to the south of Leicester before making that turn onto the final approach. Like both of those Ryanair services requested to push back now then. Services off to Valencia and Raslav this evening. So probably a little while to on that Raslav service. It's like the ancillary equipment is still around the rear of the aircraft, making preparations to depart as soon as he can off that one then. The 777 in front of us though, it should be making its way out any time soon. Those anti-collision lights pinging away there. Hopefully we will get a full shot of that one starting up this evening. That should push off stand and point towards the east before making its way down on the apron and vacating onto the taxiway before continuing down onto runway 27. There we go, is indeed pinging up on the radar now. Registration again on that one, Delta Alpha Alpha Lima Lima. This one is 5 years of age, delivered in September 2019. Back out to Leipzig this evening. Flight time approximately an hour and 30 minutes, and indeed it is starting to push back now. So we'll stick with this one for the time being. That 777 inbound from Leipzig is just passed through 20,500 feet now, making its way towards Milton Keynes. That one should be with us in about 15 to 20 minutes. And for the time being, let's watch this 777 making the return leg to Leipzig this evening. Start up, just pushing back off stand now. fully off of its stand now. The sub will detach itself in the next few minutes, and that one will start up, make its way down towards us under its own power. Just a few short minutes' time. Thanks for being with us again from East Midlands this evening. Good to see everybody in the chat and everybody watching as well. Hopefully the clarity is coming over just fine this evening. So from where we are, it's very much a different story. The sunlight reflecting straight off the aircraft, straight towards us this evening. So very much just a white blur in front of us. Hopefully the camera's doing a bit more justice. Keep an eye in the distance as well for that inbound 777. Hopefully with the weather as it is, we may be able to catch that one as it makes its way towards us. We'll try to catch the Franslow service. It's just a little too blue in the distance, blended in a little too well. Hopefully the red and yellow delivery of the inbound 777 should help it stand out. That one is just passing over Northampton now, passing through 16,800 feet. Ryanair service off to Valencia, requesting to push off of stand. So that one will be making its way out, maybe just ahead of the 777. See which one indeed makes its way out first. The Ryanair just pushing back off stand. That one off to Valencia this evening. Registration Echo India Echo November Foxtrot. The aircraft 14 years of age, delivered in October 2010. That one is a 737-800. So that one has the retro-fitted winglets on that one as well. We'll take that one off of the screen for the time being. Let's stick with the 777 in front of us, spin around a little further to get the aircraft full frame this evening. There we go. And that one is starting to make its way out under its own power now as well. Hopefully on the next departure, no more birds hitting anything. continuing straight down on the taxiway this evening to the start of runway 27. Oops, there you go. Just the lens a bit. Get that one back in full frame as it passes by. Right now, holding on stand, just giving way to the 777. 777. Likely to be the first out then, unless their runner intercepts a little early. But the 777 making good speed as it goes, makes its way down on the taxiway to the start of 27, and the runner just to the right of it there, starting to proceed on the apron, making its way onto the taxiway as well this evening. So look at the Ryanair if we can then. So it looks like a CRJ. Just in front of the Ryanair there. A lot of EAs coming off the runway and taxiway now then. Heat dropping off just a little bit. Helped ever so slightly by the slight wind that's blowing in our direction this evening. Bit of a crosswind towards us. Now with the Ryanair making its way down then towards the start of runway 27. Let's have a look at that next inbound. The 777 in from Leipzig. That one is just east of Leicester now, passing through 8,000 feet. So as that Ryanair disappears just out of view, so I'll look back over on the DHL ramp for the time being. That 777 in the process of being refueled there as well this evening. Off to Cincinnati this evening. That one expected to depart about an hour after the 767 to the left of it. So the 777 just coming to the start of runway 27, the Ryanair following closely behind. Yeah, it does indeed look like the 777 will be the first departing aircraft out of those two. That one just holding short of 27. There we go, making its way towards the centre line of the runway now. The Ryanair will just hold behind that one for a few minutes as that wake turbulence clears out of the way. And it may well do for the arriving 777 as well, unless it can manage to sneak out in between. But the Chewy isn't too far away from us as well this evening. That one making its way just north of Northampton now. Should be with us in about 10 minutes time. The 777 will be the next departing aircraft though. Engines on that one just spooling up in the distance. So let's get ready and watch this one out this evening. Hopefully no birds for this one. Right now, first let's take off for the 777 there. Triple seven passing through 2,500 feet now then, passing off to London control. And the right air cleared for takeoff. Let's get set back up in the in the position of runway 27. Wait for that one to depart this evening. 777 in from Leipzig over East League, passing through 2,200 feet now. Right, heading towards the centre line of 27. Hopefully it gets a bit of a shift on. That 777 is making some quick ground behind it. There we go, looks like that one is well on its way now. Hopefully so anyway. 777 at 1,600 feet now. Yeah, that service to Valencia quickly making its way down runway 27. There we go, the right now service to Valencia making its way out of East Midlands this evening. Doing quite well to maintain its schedule in terms of its early departing company counterparts. Rotating quite early there, off 27. And now on to passing through 2,500 feet. Handing off to London control as it continues that turn towards the south now. Triple seven in from Leipzig this evening then, just over Kegworth, making its way down towards us. On just passing over the runway threshold now then. Registration on this one again, Delta Alpha Alpha Lima Pepper, this one 4 years of age, coming up to 5 years of age next month. First flight, July 2020. A very sunny arrival for that one. So not doing too bad with the light this evening. One 777 outbound then, and one inbound. Let's see where this one makes its way onto stand this evening. Presumably it's going to replace a company traffic that just departed. Chewy service in from Palma this evening. Passing through 2,200 feet now. Registration on that one, Golf Tango uniform. Mike Foxtrot, 737 MAX. This one's 6 years of age, delivered in February 2019. So a little bit of shift on it with that 777. There we go. Bit of a closer look as well. Cleared to land into East Midlands this evening, and that one should be with us in just a couple of minutes' time. We'll stick with the 777 for just those next few minutes while that 737 makes its way down towards us. Swiftair ATR making its way over from Leeds this evening. That's an ATR 72. That one at 18,000 feet, making its way towards East Midlands. Current endurance on that one, or remaining endurance, is about 45 minutes. That one heading for Colchester at the minute. Stay with this 777 for the time being, so I keep cutting the front of that one off. Coming to a bit of an abrupt stop there on stand this evening. But looks like those parking brakes are firmly applied now. Bit of a bouncy stop that one. But the Swift ATR that we were just looking at as that 777 made its way onto stand there, making its way over from Leeds this evening. That one should be with us, as we say, in about 45 minutes time. This one, quite an older airframe. March 1990 this one first entered into service. Looks like this one is Spanish registered. 35 years of age then on this one. But that one is just east of Colchester at the minute. Not too long before that one arrives in with us. The Malta Air in from Faro is about 40 minutes out now. That one making its way up towards Devon at the minute. Registration on the inbound 9 Hotel Victor Uniform Alpha, and the 737 just sneaking in on the runway there as we were looking at those next inbounds. It sounds like the Ryanair is in the process of requesting to push back and start now as well. But as I was saying, that Malta Air service in from Faro this evening, about 40 minutes away from us now. The UPS service in from Philadelphia, about 30 minutes away from us. That one is just about to pass over the south of Anglesey into North Wales there. So like he's going to head over Llanberis, then off over in the direction of Wrexham, down towards Stoke-on-Trent, north of Derby, and then in towards East Midlands. Right, indeed pushing there just as the Chewy makes its way past. Nothing on the 777 from Leipzig just yet. Looks like they're still in the process of offloading the earlier inbound service from Kennedy. They're in the front of the aircraft elements. You can see the lower front of that aircraft. So look at the Ryanair then as it makes its way off its stand, just pushing back there, waiting to start up. See the ground crew at the front of that aircraft. Ready to get that one dispatched and away this evening. That one back out to Vraslav. John, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Hopefully see you on the next one. So the Chewy just holding short. Just pan around as we wait for the Ryanair to start making its way onto the taxiway. So look, miles not very good in the distance there. No, so that one has pulled onto stand for the evening. Just see the ground crew in front there, ready to move into place. Start getting that one prepared for everybody to disembark this evening. And the Ryanair just about to start making its way out as well. That UPS service in from Philadelphia, just over North Wales now then, at 29,000 feet. Registration on the inbound 767 this evening, 767-300. And registration on that one, November 325 Uniform Papa. Ryanair pinging away then in the distance, just to the right of the Chewy. I will stick with the Chewy just for a couple of minutes. I'll pick up on the Ryanair as it starts making its way towards that aircraft. Let's have a look, see if we can see anybody starting to disembark. That forward stair just being moved into place now. Swift Air ATR still making its way towards us, heading for Cambridge now. one should be with us in about 35 minutes time. It looks like the National Police Air Service Vulcaner is making its way back towards East Midlands. That one is just over Lichfield at the minute. Making a slight turn, so it may well be orbiting in that vicinity, but we'll keep an eye on it. Trying to sneak in past the Chewy then onto the taxiway. That will be the next aircraft to depart from East Midlands this evening. The ground crew already making preparations to start offloading all that baggage this evening. Just see them making their way up the forward stair there to greet the crew. Those first passengers should start making their way off any time soon. So the next flight for the Chewy then is first thing tomorrow morning. That one back off to Palma, departing about 25 to 7 tomorrow morning. So an overnight stopper this evening. Right, approaching holding point there, 427. Let's see where this one will make its way onto 27. Yeah, this one making its way onto one of the early holding points there, onto 27, so we shall see whereabouts this one rotates. Hopefully a little further down than the last departure. Looking a little further north than the DHL 757 in from Reykjavik is about 45 minutes away from us this evening, and the West Atlantic departing out of Aberdeen. That one is about 20 minutes away from us now, making its way down towards Leeds at the minute. That one at 23,000 feet. And just holding short of 27. There we go, that one just being given clearance to take off now then. Oh, just holding short will make its way onto the runway. That one will be the next departure out of East Midlands this evening. See that Chewy in front of us, passengers already disembarking off that one now. So hopefully in the next 20 minutes or so, quite a quick succession of arrivals into East Midlands. The ATR from the south, the EPS 767 from the west, and from the north, the West Atlantic 737. That Malta Air in from Faro, making its way just north of Southampton now at 32,350 feet. The Ryanair though, making its way down towards us. There we go, that one safely departing out of East Midlands. Faring a little bit better with the light now. See a little bit more in the distance as these ones rotate and start to turn left towards the south. This one a little lower at 2,100 feet, but passing off to London Control now. There we go, that one safely off down towards the south now. So look in the distance then at the progress of the 767. Mentioned that one a little earlier. Let's focus on the forward of that aircraft. A lot of cargo coming out the front of that one this evening. That wire out. And the service in from Leipzig, if we pan a little down towards the right. There you go, that one in the process of being worked on as well this evening. Majority of that cargo being offloaded from the upper deck there. So look for those next inbounds then. The UPS 767 is looking like the next arrival. Just in front there, the Vulcan making its way up from the south. That one just overhead. DHL Apron. If we pan a little further up, might just be able to see it. There we go in the distance. Vulcan making its way back in towards East Midlands this evening. Bit of speed on that one. Have this one out in operation for about 90 minutes so far this evening. Let's stick with this one as it makes its way just behind the tower this evening. Like you're already down on that one. We're making a bit of a dive for the runway now. We'll catch back up with that one in a minute. Lock the tripod back off there. Catch up with the progress on the 767 then. That one pretty much diving out of sight there. 777 outbound to Cincinnati a little later on. That one has finished refuelling now, waiting for the last of that cargo to make its way on board this evening. Walking out over the runway threshold then. Approaching somewhere, so that one is going to vacate just a little further out, so we may catch that one as it makes its way up on the taxiway. Yeah, that one approaching from the left now. Let's pan around if we can try and catch that one. That one silently making its way off of the taxiway there, heading back down towards its hangar a little further down the taxiway there. There we go, that one disappearing now. So look at the progress of the third 777 on stand this evening, and in the distance, a little bit too far. There we go. That one too in the progress of being worked on this evening. That one, so let's see if that one is outbound at some point. And arriving in from Cincinnati this evening. And that one is scheduled to depart East Midlands at about 11:10 this evening, off to Milan. So a very busy Apron over there this evening. A lot of aircraft being worked on. Turn around as quickly as it possibly can be this evening, ready to see them off to their next destination. Speaking of destinations, the UPS 767 inbound from Philadelphia at 2,950 feet now. That one 3 or 4 minutes from arriving with us, making that final right hand turn on to the approach this evening. And just a few minutes behind that, the West Atlantic 737 in from Aberdeen. That one currently passing through 6,600 feet. Registration on the inbound 737 Golf Charlie Kilo Uniform Zulu. That one is 31 years of age. Delivered, or first entry into service, sorry, in February 1994. So the UPS 2 arriving with us first. That one with a flight time of about 6 hours and 20 minutes this evening. The West Atlantic with a flight time of around 45 minutes. And behind that, the Swift Air in from Liège. That one with a flight time of about an hour and 22 minutes at present. And just west of Milton Keynes, making its way up towards Northampton. The Malta Air Service in from Faro, operated by that 737 MAX. That one is passing through 13,600 feet now at 353 knots. And that one, 4 years of age, entering in service in April 2021. That one is about 13 minutes away from us. So we'll see the UPS in first, followed by the West Atlantic, the Swift Air ATR, and then the Malta Air 737. The 757 in from Reykjavik isn't too far away either. That one is about 30 minutes out now, making its way down towards the Lake District, just passing by Dumfries there. And the West, sorry, not the West Atlantic, the Maersk Air in from Belfast this evening. That one with about 28 minutes left to run as well, just passing by the very southernmost point of the Isle of Man over the Irish Sea, heading towards Liverpool currently. So let's have a look then in preparation for that 767 arriving in with us. There we go, we'll lock off the registration again then on the inbound November 325 uniform Papa. That one with a flight time of 6 hours and 20 minutes, just overhead Kegworth now. This one, 26 years of age, delivered in November 1998. Thank you again to everybody who's joined us from East Midlands this evening. First stream of the week. We'll be out again a little later this week on Thursday, when the weather should hopefully be as generous as it's been this evening. Although we are expecting the wind to shift a little. Blowing from the east as opposed to the west this evening. So with a bit of luck, we'll be back on 09 operations for maybe just a brief short while. But hopefully if the sun is as good as it's been this evening, we should get some really good approaches into East Midlands. So we'll put the next details of that stream up very shortly. If you're not subscribed to us already, make sure you do subscribe to keep up with all of our latest action and notifications from down here at East Midlands and the Aeropark as well. The UPS 767 arriving into us now then. Fixated on the look in the distance there. They'll vacate in the runway onto the taxiway then. By the sounds of it, an all-American crew on that one. That one making its way back down towards the start of runway 27 then, where the UPS facilities are based. Silently making its way down to its stand for the evening then. Not a lot of noise at all from that one. There you go, we'll stay in this direction just for the time being. And the West Atlantic 737 in from Aberdeen is making its way down now. That one passing through 800 feet. Flight time on that one 45 minutes. Registration again Golf Charlie Kilo Uniform Zulu. That one at 129 knots now, just east of Kegworth. Look what temperature we're currently at as well. The UPS making its way onto the apron down there in the distance. So if you missed the departure of the 747s over the past couple of weeks, definitely go and have a look back. Fortunately, I was to catch a few of those as they made their way out from runway 27. If you missed any other of those 747 arrivals and departures from runway 09 as well down here at East Midlands, definitely go and have a look back through all of our previous streams. Some of the shorts as well, some really good shots of those aircraft arriving and departing right in front of us. That 767 just coming to a stand there then for the time being. Looks like that one is just waiting to make its way onto its stand this evening. And the West Atlantic in from Aberdeen then. Yeah, sounds like the UPS is just waiting for one of the stands to be cleared. Swift out approach now then. West Atlantic 737 making its way over to the furthest stand in the distance there, just past the caravan there underneath the 767. That Swift Air just passing through 1,000 feet now then, that one at 98 knots at the minute. Flight time of 1 hour and 24 minutes by the time it touches down. And a Malta Air in from Faro at 3,200 feet, making it a left and turn onto the final approach for runway 27 this evening. West Atlantic progressing towards its stand now then. like pigeon out at the minute. Big flock of pigeons right in front of us. There we go, the West Atlantic making its way onto stand. Swiftair just making its way past Kegworth then, and it looks like that UPS has finally made it onto stand. There we go, that West Atlantic safely coming to a stop. I'll try and catch up with that one in just a few minutes. We'll see where the Swift ATR makes it to this evening. That one just passing over the runway threshold. Jeremy Marshy, thank you very much for joining us. Not too long at all to wait for that. Hopefully it's going to be decent weather. So I don't think they've fared too well in the Ken areas the past few weeks or months. Hopefully it's definitely going to be a little bit more sunny than it has been of recent. Swiftair making its exit from the runway then. And the next arrival, the Malta Air in from Faro, just touching down as well. Stay in this direction for the time being as that aircraft makes its way towards us then. There we go, that one arriving into East Midlands this evening then. That one with a flight time 2 hours and 23 minutes. Registration on that one again, 9 Hotel Victor Uniform Alpha. Now this one should be departing in just a short while, I think just before 9 PM this evening. We shall have a look at the departures once this one safely makes it off the taxiway onto the apron. Yeah, hopefully that weather in Grankian area should stay quite warm for the next few weeks at least. Looking like 29 degrees, so a bit better than it was a few weeks ago. Yeah, but hope you have a good time out there. See whereabouts this one ends up on stand this evening. Went a little further back then from those forward stands this evening, but prime position for making it off and straight into passport control there. DHL 757 approaching from the north then. That one at 15,800 feet now. Registration Golf Bravo Mike Romeo India. That one is 36 years of age. First entered into service in February 1989. We'll stick with the Malta Air just for a couple of minutes as that one starts to disembark. So the ground crew moving into place on that one there. Service in from Belfast this evening. That one about 18 minutes away from us now, passing through 17,800 feet. Registration Golf Mike Alpha Charlie Yankee. And again, age on that one 36 years. First flight March 1989. And then not a lot after that. The Ryanair service in from Krakow is about 40 minutes away. And then looking a little further north, the DHL 757 again in from Oslo this evening. That will make 3 757s on the ground here at East Midlands. So we'll stick around at least for that first arrival from Reykjavik. That one about 15 minutes out now. That one making its way down towards Carsington Water, just north of Derby, making its way out of the Peak District there. The Malta Air service to Faro, that one with an estimated departure time 25 to 9 this evening. So just 15 minutes on the ground for that one, which is more than likely not doable. So that one will depart a little later, I think. Already moving into place to get that one refueled. I think that one may have reverted back to its earlier slot. The last time we checked, the estimated departure time are about 10 to 9 this evening. So depending on where we get to in the next 20 to 25 minutes, if that one is looking like it's going to make a move, we'll try and see that one out as the last aircraft outbound on this evening's stream. And of course that's 767 out to Cincinnati as well. That is the aircraft straight in front of us this evening. So a quick pan round with the secondary camera there. Bring that one on screen for you. That forward cargo door, the lower forward cargo door, should I say, all closed up now. Just the rear one looks like that one is still being worked on, and of course that open cargo door, that main cargo door there, still open, just to make that out above the aircraft. There you go, get a little closer in on that one. So that one is estimated to depart this evening at about 10 to 9. Now, but as we saw on that earlier outbound service to Leipzig, it may well be delayed, so we'll keep an eye on that one, but likely ending between 2:45 and 10 to 9 this evening, hopefully with those last two departures. But thank you for joining us this evening from East Midlands and from the Aeropark as well. So the Aeropark is on the summer schedule now, open on Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays to the public. So if you're interested in coming down, although it looks like it's going to be quite decent for the rest of this week and into the weekend as well, have a look at the stream description below. There should be a link to the Aeropark website in there, and that'll take you through to all the details of how to find them, admission times and prices, and also the static aircraft on display as well. If you're interested in any volunteering opportunities with Aeropark, definitely come down and have a chat to the volunteers. They're more than happy to talk through any opportunities they have in terms of volunteering. So just drop in and ask them any questions if you have them. Stuart is in the chat this evening, so if you've got any questions while we're on the stream, drop them in the chat. Stuart will be more than willing to answer them for you. Passengers making their way off of the Malta Air 737 now then. Those passengers gradually disembarking from the rear of that aircraft, making their way down the stairs. Looks like the upper cargo door on the 767 outbound to Cincinnati this evening is all closed now. Just that lower rear cargo door, so the last bits of cargo making their way on this evening. See if we can get a little bit closer on that one for you. There you go, that last bit just making its way on. So, with a bit of luck, that one may well indeed stay on schedule this evening. So it's estimated to depart in about 25 minutes' time, as well as the Malta Air in the distance there. Our next arrival then, the DHL 757 in from Reykjavik this evening, passing through 4,100 feet now at 170 knots. That one is about 5 minutes away from us, just passing south of Nottingham, just over Tollerton there. And the Maersk just a couple of minutes behind that one, passing through 6,300 feet now. A little bit faster at 280 knots by that speed. Rapidly reducing. 757 making that turn then down towards East Midlands now, the first of those right hand turns. And the second will be the turn onto final approach to land in onto runway 27 this evening. So the sun just about to make its way down behind the top of the trees. So hopefully it should get some good lighting in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So it looks like it's just about to illuminate the Malta Air 737 there. It's turning ever so slightly orange. Which you can't quite tell on the DHL, given the colour of the livery. Flies around this evening. Anyway, flies aside, that's 757 making the last of those turns onto final approach now then at 2,600 feet. That one at 160 knots now. And a Maersk 767 just south of Nottingham. That one just extended its approach ever so slightly, giving way to the 757 in front of it. That one is about 4 or 5 minutes from being with us this evening. So as we come near to finishing this evening's stream, and in the next 20 minutes or so, thank you very much for joining us this evening from East Midlands. If you're new to joining us, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up with all of our latest action from in and around the airports, and of course the Aeropark itself. Thank you to all of our returning subscribers and members as well for being with us this evening. Be good to have you with us. Good to see you all in the chat as well. As we said a little early, we'll be back out again on Thursday of this week. Hopefully back on 09 operations just for a brief while. I think the wind is going to turn back in its current direction for the next week or so after that. Quite peaceful now, apart from the APU on that 767. It sounds like it's starting up in the distance. You can just see that lower cargo door just closing up there. So hopefully that should be that one complete and making it out on time this evening. So the ground crew are in place at the crew at the forward of that aircraft, just moving the equipment out of the way. The 757 established and clear to land into East Midlands. Stick on those two aircraft just for the time being until it gets a little closer to us. That one over the runway threshold now then. Switch back to the main camera. Prepare to watch this one into East Midlands. See whereabouts this one ends up on stand. So there is a 757 over there already, so presuming it will join on the stand next to it this evening. Flight time on this one, 2 hours and 16 minutes inbound from Reykjavik this evening. And there we go, just making an appearance from behind a tree there. Sounds like the Maersk is just behind this one as well, clear to land in. Stick with the 757 for the time being, which this one passed. See if we can knock a bit of that light off now. Maersk 767 just coming into view then. Pan around and catch that one, catch up with the 757. Just a minute. There we go, the Maersk here from Belfast this evening then. Let's have a look background at the 757 then. That one just making its way onto stand. There we go. Ground crew just moving into position on that one. Let's have a look at those next departures then. service off to Faro with an estimated departure time of 20 to 9 this evening. It's in about 4 or 5 minutes time. Indeed, that aircraft making contact with the controller, requesting to push back. We'll bring that one up on the screen if we can. There you go, just in the distance there. See that rear stair still attached to the aircraft there. And let's have a look at the 767 then on the end of the stand there. Looks like they're about to start pushing this one back. Stick on those two for the time being, and that sun just about to drop behind us now. It's illuminating the Malta Air there in the distance. That 767 requesting clearance to Cincinnati then. That one indeed ready to start pushing and starting this evening. Fingers crossed, the first time in a very, very long time that the Cincinnati service has indeed made it out on time. The Malta Air service in the distance, so still with the rear stair attached. Looks like the last of those passengers making their way on board. So we'll try and catch the Malta Air in the next 10 minutes or so. If not, hopefully catch the departure of the DHL 767 in front of us, departing out to Cincinnati this evening. It looks like those systems are now alive. They're just waiting there for clearance to start pushing that one back. Well, it's definitely turned out to be a lot better than it was last Thursday. There we go then. Hopefully push and start approved on the 767. That one should start moving. Maybe just a little while longer for the Alter Air 737 there. We'll switch to the main camera for the time being. I think this one may well be the last departure of this evening's stream. There we go, pushing off stand there. Of that aircraft just been taken away then. Is that one moves out of the way of the sun? Try and get a full-on view of that flight deck if we can. There we go then, both engines of that aircraft starting up now. The Maersk service in from Edinburgh this evening, turning on to final approach. That one will likely be the last arrival. The rear stair of the Malta Air still attached to that aircraft, so we'll stick with the 767 in front of us for the time being. Try and make this one the final aircraft of this evening's stream. The arriving service from Edinburgh then, registration Golf Mike Alpha Charlie Zulu. This one with a flight time of 37 minutes by the time it arrives with us this evening. Aircraft is a 767-200. This one first entering into service in March 1994, making it 31 years of age. There we go, the DHL on the taxiway then, making its way down to the start of 27. If we pan around, just catch the Maersk as it arrives in with us this evening from Edinburgh. Maersk just passing behind the DHL 767 then. If we have a quick look in the distance, the Malta Air there just in front of the 767. That one looking like the stairs have been removed from the rear of that aircraft now. That one will be departing imminently from East Midlands. I think we will catch the DHL out as the last aircraft of this evening's stream. The Maersk chasing down the 767, and that one will pull onto the same apron as the UPS and its company counterpart in the distance. If we can just have a little look in the distance there, if we can catch it. There we go, the Maersk 767 and that UPS 767. That made its way in from Belfast and Philadelphia respectively. There you go, just disappearing away. The Malta Air is pinging up then. So I don't like it does indeed look like that one is moving. Did I think it was moving? Sorry about that. We will have a quick look at that one then. And if we can catch this one out on this evening's stream, we will, if it quickly makes its way out. Anything for the anything to go on with those recent Ryanair departures, this one should be out quite quickly. The earlier ones didn't fare so well. That service to Palma was about 50 minutes delayed. Sitting there on stand for quite some time. So look at the DHL 767, that one is just at the start of runway 27, holding short. As we wait for that Malta Air service to make its way out, the Ryanair service in from Krakow is just north of Leicester now. The DHL service in from Belfast, operated by 767-300. That one is just a few minutes out as well. But next aircraft to depart will be the 767 off to Cincinnati this evening. That one soaring out of East Midlands this evening then, off to Cincinnati, making a right hand turn as it departs to the north. There we go then, way off into the last of that evening's sun from East Midlands. Malta Air in the distance. That one maybe waiting just a few more minutes, nothing from control on that one just yet. So I think we'll try and get the last arrival into East Midlands then for the stream the Ryanair service in from Krakow. Malta Air is just sitting on the stand for a little while. Helen, thank you very much for that super chat this evening. Good to have you with us, and thank you very much for your support. So the Malta Air may be on the move. Yeah, there we go. So then if this one makes it down to the start of 27 very, very quickly, and catch this one departing out of East Midlands. That 767 is on final, that one in from Belfast this evening. Ryanair service in from Krakow there. Flight time on the service from Krakow this evening then, 2 hours and 18 minutes. This one, 737 MAX, registration Echo India, India, Foxtrot Zulu. Finally inbound then, DHL 767 in from Belfast, and that final outbound, which will be the final outbound of this stream, the Ryanair service, Malta service, part of the Ryanair group, under the Ryanair code, off to Faro this evening. That one making its way down to the start of 27. Malta just holding, giving way to the 767. So the Malta being given instruction to line up behind the arriving 767 once that lands in onto runway 27. And that's servicing from Krakow, making its way onto the Apron. Registration on that arriving 767 in from Belfast then, Golf Delta Hotel Lima Romeo. 767-300, this one 12 years of age, coming to 13 years of age this year in September. Flight time this evening in from Belfast is 40 minutes. .767 just passing over the M1 and the threshold for runway 27. The reverse thrust is very loud on the 767. Pick that up in the distance there. .767 from Belfast, vacating then onto the taxiway now The Ryanair pulling onto the forward stand there, so we'll have a quick look at that and end the stream with a shot of that one this evening. But the Malta Air back off to Faro, lining up on runway 27 now. That one just waiting takeoff clearance. There we go, that one given takeoff clearance now. The 767 just reporting some issues with its equipment there as it made its way down. They made that approach on some backup equipment. Malta Air service to Faro now though, ready to depart East Midlands. There we go, that one safely away, departing from runway 27 this evening. The sky looking very very pleasant indeed this evening. So look at the Ryanair then, that one on stand in front of us. Forward door just opening there. Passengers ready to make their way off that aircraft this evening. So with that aircraft in front of us, I think we shall leave it at that for the time being. We'll schedule next stream in for this Thursday. Hopefully the weather's going to be just as favourable as it was this evening. But from me, that's it for the time being. So thank you very much for joining us here from East Midlands and from the Aeropark as well. Details, of course, are in the stream description below of the Aeropark. If you're new to the channel, just finding us this evening, do consider subscribing. We're out here twice a week, streaming from East Midlands. It's been good to have you with us this evening. Thank you very much to all of our returning subscribers and of course our members as well from joining us again on the stream. But from me, that's it for the time being. I've been Tom. This has been a Life Flight Action. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and we'll see you on the next stream very soon.